Hi everyone, this is Dr. Jonathan Kuttner. I want to tell you about me. It's all about me, always, isn't it? I do a particular martial art. It's been a passion of mine for quite a few years, and it's called Aikido. It's a beautiful Japanese martial art which involves two people coming together. Aikido means the way of harmony. So somebody attacks me, I harmonize with them. I become the center. Most of the movements are beautiful and spiral, and you can either throw people or you can pin them, and then they get a turn to do the same thing to me. So it can be fairly full on, and I'm fairly advanced, so you get thrown. And after a session, I don't remember anything particular happening, but the next morning, in fact it was as I was driving home, I noticed a little tweak in my left hip, and the next morning I got up and my hip was sore. I was really sore actually. So I looked at my hip and I found that there were a number of trigger points in my hip. I didn't go to x-ray it because this is what I did. I found the triggers, I treated them myself using specific techniques, which there's a course that I teach of how to treat your own triggers, and my pain got a lot better. It gradually settled and it stopped becoming intrusive. The time that I would notice it the most was I'd sat in the car for a little while, and then when I went to get up, I just had this stab in my leg, and I thought, oh. So this gradually settled to a degree, kind of went, and then it was probably over about 2 to 3 weeks. I went to another Aikido session, got thrown around a bit, nothing big deal, got in the car, arrived home and went to move, and I had a huge stab in my leg. Now, there were a number of thoughts that I could have had, but the first thought that popped right up into my mind is, hang on a minute, this settled. When it settled, I had complete movement, free movement of my hip. There's nothing wrong with my hip. This is BS. That's what I thought. This is rubbish. This has got to be my pain system doing a nutty thing. Then I decided, once I thought that, ding, okay, this is nonsense, and my fascinating insight was this. This is crap. My hip is fine. All it is doing is it hurts. That was my insight. It was just a ping, jumped straight to the top of my mind. Never thought it before. All it's doing is that it's sore. And because and this is deep down, gone through the process of making it better, rolled around with no pain at all. Okay, there's lots of movement, lots of twisting, stretching. That didn't bother me at all. And then suddenly, getting out of the car, it's hurting me. This is rubbish. I thought that, I integrated it inside, and then I said, with absolute conviction, it's going to be fine. I went to move, no pain. So, this is fascinating, you see. We've talked about reactive pain. I've talked about reactive pain in the past, where you tie your pain to a particular posture, maneuver, and so on, and you tie the two, or activity, you tie the two together, and that then becomes the cue for your pain system to turn on your pain. So for me, the cue for my pain system to turn on my pain was getting out of the car. Okay, I had kind of thought, well, maybe I'd injured it, and I found some triggers and I treated it, and so I'd kind of forgotten about the fact that of this reactive pattern. I then got better But I recognized as I went to get out of the car that this was my cue for my pain system to give me a stab in my leg. So I have to lift my leg with my hands. But I was so infuriated by it, and I was so convinced there was nothing wrong that I just turned it off there and then, bang. It's never come back again. I can get out of the car now completely comfortably, and it doesn't come. So this is very powerful, the mind-body connection, and recognizing that you can make connections which can turn on very significant pain, which have nothing to do with the structure that hurts. And once you recognize that that is the process, this is reactive pain, not because my hip is damaged. Once you recognize that, you can turn it off. Now, there are techniques that you can do. There are a number of techniques that I teach in a fascinating course, and you can learn to literally switch off your reactive pain patterns and go from having significant pain to none.